Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. We'll begin in 60 seconds.
Take the day off with me. Come and take it off with me. Take the day off with me. Yeah. Take the day off. Get on traffic. Traffic with my friend right here. That's what I say. The past St. Jacks, they ending up to nothing. Everybody loves it with me. Okay, yeah. When your mom cut off your welfare, I was there. Holding you down, mama. Holding you down. When I left you alone, I was there. Everybody knows I was there. You wanna call me out now? Still loving you like I'm loving the sound. Yes, I'll still be there. Them found ass niggas ain't here right now. Who loves you now? And who loves you now? And who loves you now? Take the day off with me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, but the last 3 or 4 days, I keep having to reload it because it'll freeze. And don't ask me why it's doing that. I know it was doing it when I had a bunch of digital images ready to pop up here. So I did away with those, and I'm still having issues. So I don't really know why. Customer service with StreamYard is extremely slow. So that's why I can't get it resolved immediately. But anyway, tonight, aside from technical difficulties, I am very proud and humbled to present Selwyn Jones. Selwyn Jones is the uncle of George Floyd. We were Facebook friends just because we are in the same category. For me, for my humanitarian efforts, supporting people that are, dealing with CPS, family court issues, human trafficking, sex trafficking, etc., etc. So we are in a parallel universe and crisscrossed. I've known that he's been George Floyd's uncle since we first hooked up over on Facebook, and it's probably been, I don't know, I'd say a year probably. And I didn't want to dive right in. I wanted to see, his demeanor on Facebook, how he carried himself as a man, as a party to an infamous worldwide event that will always be branded in history of the United States, especially Minnesota, Minneapolis, and Houston. And it affected a lot of people, still affects a lot of people. So we're not going to, like I said, as I did a bunch of previews for this show, I have no idea where the conversation's going. I don't know what topics we're going to discuss. I'm going to allow Selwyn Jones, and I'm saying his full name for a reason so it sticks in your head, because from what we've discussed, you definitely should hear what his mission is, aside from the whole George Floyd incident. If you can separate those two, God bless you. Thank you for being here. That'll be much appreciated and respected by all parties. So it just so happens that it is what it is. And we also could possibly talk about that. How deep we're going to go into that, I don't know. For those of you who have never been caught up within the justice system, whatever that looks like, whether you went through bankruptcy court, family court, probate, criminal, civil, small claims court, okay? When you get caught up, that's a whole different world, and it's a whole different ball game. And usually there's two parties or there's one party, but there are ripples caused by that event that affect the family, friends, co-workers of that person that's enduring that part of the justice system. Some it affects more than others. And obviously, that's part of the story here. How it affected, the Floyd family, the ones that, some of them who probably, didn't really associate with George, but were affected just because they're the family of George some way. We're going to dive into all of that, hopefully, because I want you to hear the humanity part of it. We already know what the media story is. We've heard it over and over. We know what the conspiracy stories are. We've heard them over and over. So hopefully tonight we can hear an entirely new narrative to you and to myself anyway, because that's where I'd like this conversation to go. With that, I'm humbled and proud to present to my show Selwyn Jones, a man on a mission.
What's up, my man? How are you?
I'm hanging in there. It's been a long day. I've already been in the theater all day and here done another show, and here I am with you. So
you and your theater, man. This guy is a master of so many things. He sets up stages, and he just does everything. But the humanitarian part is where we're here today. And as he said, man, I don't know. I got a funny text about 1.5 years ago and says, "Hey," and I seen Floyd. I'm thinking, "Hey, is this a cousin?" And, I was like, nah, well, it might have been a cousin a long time ago, but we're
right.
Here, So, how did we get ourselves into this? We woke up one day and we decided that we could make an impact and a difference in this world by using our voice. And I woke up one day after seeing all of these atrocities, the Ahmaud Arbery's, the Eric Gardners. I'm 59 years old, so I've seen a great deal of a lot of, of something or nothing or however you want to call it. And all I did was wake up one day. I woke up one day. I live in a little country town, 1,200 people. And, and we're all friends, and I know everybody's family members. I've seen their babies grow up. And all I did was wake up one day. And I woke up one day to me not having any friends, to me being ridiculed, to me being said, go back to Africa,
Wow.
because I had a Confederate flag on my police uniform patch and the car in the building. And just by chance, oh yeah, the big part, somebody murdered my nephew. And all of that coincided at one time. Within a matter of hours, I went from being George Floyd's uncle to the dumbest person that's ever lived, because we had a Confederate flag north of the Mason-Dixon line, about 900 miles. And what goes with that flag when you see it, it's just like when you see the SWAT sticker, you think of hate. Well, most of the time they both go together. And we had a KKK rally here,
Tell everybody where you're at.
I'm in South Dakota.
Okay.
South Dakota, not South Carolina, South Dakota. Man, and I've had people write F off NIGGER on the side of buildings.
Right.
I've known these people for 25 years. And all of a sudden, my nephew gets murdered, and I'm the bad guy because my nephew had a past, because he had, put himself in bad situations. Man, so I haven't been to any stores in my town in 5.5 years.
Wow.
That's telling you how real this is.
It's
telling you how real.
Stigmatized in your community?
Huh?
It's still stigmatized in your community?
Yes, and I own some houses and a motel in town. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
Can you imagine that? And I live with this every day because 7.5 billion people saw something happen to a man, not just a man of color, a man that was unjustified, that was horrific, that was literally torture for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. And just by chance, people that I've never seen, that I've never known, I never will know, saw my nephew put in a bad situation, not because of his past, not because of any other reason, but besides, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time on May the 25th. And was that a counterfeit $20 bill? We don't know. But it was $19.00 that the world stood on its axis and screamed my sister's baby boy's name because they saw a sign of police brutality. And most people saw it for the first time. You have no idea how many people reached out to me. You have no idea how many things I've done over the last 5 years. And it all comes back to that 9 minutes and 29 seconds when we saw a grown man go from laughing, dancing, begging, crying, and dying underneath the knee of a bigot, of a racist, of an overindulging, power and controlled field individual that should have probably been fired 10 years before then. But this is the problem that always bothers me, and I always tell people this, man. There's a problem when we live in a society that it's legal for someone to do that. Because reality is, do you think he would have done that if he thought he would have been reprimanded for it? Absolutely not. Do you think most of the world, let me get this straight. We're only dealing with 1%. It's like we're dealing with 1% of those people that run the world. We're talking about 1% of those people that are in this blue gang, that are in the judiciary system that runs this stuff. That's all we're talking about. It's 1%. And that 1%, when they speak loud and clear. And we hear it loud and clear. And you know, man, over the last 5.5 years, I've gone to over 70 funerals. And there have been of people of color, of Caucasian, Hispanic, you name it.
Right.
I've showed up for people. And one of my biggest things is this: how many George Floyds were they before there was my nephew? Thousands.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands. You don't know the Pernell Williams in this world. You don't know the Mona Hardings in this world or the Tracy Jenkins in this world. You barely know the Karen Wells of this world, Amir Locke, Minneapolis. So all of these people that didn't have a voice, that didn't have a platform, that nobody ever said, hey, are you okay? That's what Uncle Selwyn prides himself in doing, man. I show up for people that weren't my nephew. Because you know that most of the times you lose battles if you don't know how to fight or if you don't know where to fight. And all I'm doing, man, is giving an opportunity for people that would never have an opportunity to hear their voices heard. I want to shout people's names out. And not only with police brutality, gun violence is horrific. Missing people, and Lord have mercy, that there's over 4,000 people a day go missing. It has got to the point with me that I wake up when I go to sleep at night and the Lord bless me to wake up in the morning. I literally pray that I will wake up tomorrow and this thing doesn't have anything bad on it. Good luck with that one, my brother.
Yeah, been
Good
there.
luck with that one, man. So, I'm a humanitarian. I'm not a politician. Lord have mercy. I'm not anything other than old country boy that grew up in Goldsboro, North Carolina, that had a bad situation, which was probably the worst situation anybody's ever seen. And all I'm trying to do is to take what I did not want and as a platform to speak about all of these atrocities and move forward with them and help create change or impact. Giving people hands out mean absolutely nothing. I want to give people a hand up. I want to help with the youth. I want to help with the mental health crisis because Lord have mercy. How many people are, man, we don't want to talk about that. I think as soon as you get over
the rest of the show.
Yeah, as soon as you get over 50, I just think that's an instant thing. Wow, I'm just crazy as hell. I woke up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I woke up and my neck is sore and my back is sore. You know what I'm saying? So, man, somebody called me one day and they says, man, do you know that? Now, listen to these numbers. This is the crazy one here. People of color that look like me, we commit 58% of the world crimes.
Wow.
Okay? We occupy, there's 2.67 million people in jail, incarcerated, and we occupy 1.45 of them. Okay?
Occupy what?
We occupy about 47%
Of the jail beds?
of the jail beds.
Yeah, that's about what it is in Texas prisons.
Okay. Hold on now.
We just say 50% black.
Okay.
10% Mexicans, 10% whites.
And in Texas, 99% of them do not have a high school education.
Yeah, that's
now
I
think about this.
Read letters to them. Yeah, I remember.
Think about this. They give you all of these numbers, but do they tell you that there's 100,000 wrongfully convicted people that are let out every year? And out of that 100,000 people, 70% of them look like me.
Right. Yeah.
That's where the problem lies, in those statistics that everybody wants to throw out. People throw those statistics out like wow. But then you recant all of those things because most of the people that are wrongfully convicted look like me. And that's a problem. That's a problem when that happens within the system. People withholding evidence, people not liking you because of the color of your skin, people not liking because of the house you live in and the car you live in. So, man,
or you're an easy mark. Or you're an easy mark.
Yeah, simple. Yeah. Simple, because that factory that pays you 40 cents a day, that they make $40,000 or $50,000 a year off of you. Think about that.
More than that.
Yeah, think about that. The federal government pays $37,580, and if you have a job on campus working where they would have to pay a CO, the state pays you like you're an employee. So you'll get $22 to $25 an hour, but you get $40 a month.
Not in Texas. You get credits.
You don't get cash?
Work time credit. No, they don't pay. Not in Texas. They don't pay offenders here. But I can tell you this: at one time in Texas, every license plate
was made
had a design on it that was created by one offender, and his name was Van Story. Every license plate, because for like 15 years, that's all he did was design license plates in the tag plant. So every plate that was made during that period, and didn't matter, even when they came out with the they came out with a Dallas Cowboy plate. Remember that with the star on it?
Yeah.
Well, they did that without the NFL licensing permission, and then they got a knock on the front door of the prison. NFL licensing. You want to use our logo? You're going to have to come pay us.
Think about that.
It's
always
about money. Contract
always about money in certain situations. In Florida, they pick fruit.
Yeah.
In North Carolina, they work at the turkey farms and hog farms and chicken farms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wherever the economic system has there, they are put to work. In South Dakota, they remove snow and they build houses. It's called, what is it called? Governor's house. $260,000. That's before the foundation.
Wow.
$350,000. And they get it built for about $12,000.
Yeah. Yeah, they do that in prison. Like if you, if they have a diesel. So if you want your motor rebuilt, I don't know if they still do it because people were abusing it, but you bought the parts and the offenders would rebuild your motor. I mean, they'd machine it, the whole,
Think
going
about
across
that.
yeah.
Think about that. So
Barbecue
think about
pits being built.
yeah, think about the importance of people that are being incarcerated for minuscule things. And I'm not saying crime is a crime. Let's get that right. One of the things that bugged me a lot, 36 states, marijuana is legal. Am I correct?
For medicinal purposes, yes.
Yeah, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there over 150,000 people still incarcerated and marijuana is legal in their state?
Right. I agree with you.
Help me. Help me make sense out of this, man. Help me make sense out of this.
I just watched a video. You probably don't know who Derek Gonzalez is, but he actually recorded this. He just turned his phone on record and sat it down on the counter while he's engaging with the district court clerk, and he's asking her for his securities.
Mm-hmm.
And she's trying to play dumb, and you could tell that they both knew what he was talking about, and she's trying not to acknowledge what he's talking about without acknowledging it, but still answering his question without answering it. That kind of thing. And it's like 15-minute video. It's very entertaining because Derek is extremely articulate, studies the law profusely, and when he speaks, they're like thinking, okay, that's the law. He's right. Now, how do I get around that? Because I don't have to deal with people like this all day, every day. Mm-hmm. And it was real enlightening to listen to him to do that. But I did a video on this, and it's the commercialization of the courts. And it doesn't matter what court you're in, whether it's criminal, civil, family, probate, bankruptcy, they're all commercial courts, masquerading as whatever they label it, operating under civil rules and procedure. That's how they work. If you go read the federal rules of civil procedure, mm-hmm. and you apply them towards admiralty law, as opposed to civil law, mm-hmm. it makes sense, especially when you read the UCC.
I've got a new executive assistant. Mm-hmm. Hey, Julie, broken chain, unhinged. And she just went through all of this with me about this particular law. And I'm thinking, okay, now you're going to come up on this. Now that means Uncle Selwyn got to go to work. I got to pull the books out, man. I got to figure this one out. But yeah, she was telling me about this. You have so many ways that you could get put into a trap, and you never know it. Once again, there goes another way. And how do we defeat the enemy? Who is the enemy? That's the problem. That's one of the problems. Who is the enemy?
The enemy is the system.
The enemy is the system. The system was created bad. The system was created for power and control hungry. What do you call them? Oh my God! It starts with an S.
Psychopath?
No, not psychopath. Overbearing. Sociopath, not sociopath. Anyhow, I'll get it in a second.
Okay.
But it was designed for people that think that they're above anybody. And if you stay in that system and you climb, narcissist. There you go, narcissist.
Okay, narcissist.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Birds of a feather flock together. You always know that.
Yeah, usually narcissists are sociopaths as well.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I've been locked up with a bunch of sociopaths.
How long were you incarcerated?
This last time, 14 years and 2 months.
What'd you do? I gotta ask.
DWI. Oh, it's no secret what I've done.
How many have you had?
I had 3. Yeah, it took me a while to wake up. I was a terror, and I admit it.
You had 3 DUIs.
Uh-huh.
How much time incarcerated did you spend?
Total?
Yeah.
About 18 years.
You must have been toe up from the flow up.
Oh, I was a terror. I'm telling you, I did what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it for however long I wanted to do it. And I didn't care if I crossed the lines between legal and illegal. And I wasn't scared of gunfights, knife fights, police, jail, prisons. I was just a very intellectual, curious idiot that liked to have fun. And it was fun, fun, fun till everybody went home and wouldn't come play with me no more.
Uh,
That's really what it amounted to.
isn't it crazy that you're telling me that drinking was fun?
It was. Yeah.
When you were intoxicated, it was fun. Now, there would be a lot of people that would disagree with what I'm about to say because it was your choice. And my firm statement on this is this: alcoholism, drug addiction, all of them are a mental health crisis because if you wouldn't have consumed whatever you consume that makes you think differently, to be in that euphoria, you would have never did any of those things. So why didn't anybody? I know you can't help nobody until they want to help themselves, but people misdiagnose that all the time, and they always want to say you're crazy or you just nobody's forcing you to do it. But just don't they realize it's a chemical reaction that once you do it, all of your inhibitions and everything goes away. There's got to be a mental health crisis for you not to want to do that. Think about that.
Oh, I already know. The whole system is skewed. Yeah. I can't tell you what caused me to be a different person once I got out. But I can tell you that somewhere between January and April of 2016, while I was at the Havens unit in Brownwood, I was in the Gateway program as a 6-month in-prison therapeutic treatment program. And they really didn't like me much there in my little pod. And the counselors, the LCDCs, we had a head LCDC, and then they had LCDCs underneath them. And they would have picked their little favorite pets, and they would like be the offender executive team, kind of like. And they had 3 pods per dorm, and the pods, we all competed against each other doing these like rah things. We were rearranging songs for sobriety recovery lyrics. And it's unheard of what they did, but because you're competing against these other pods for 6 months. And this is like a high stress situation where I had to wake up at 3:05 every morning, be ready to go to chow at 3:45, be back on the dorm by 4:20 to go to work till noon when I went to lunch, come back, chill for about 30 minutes, not laying down. You can't lay down on your bunk. All you can just do is sit on it. There's no TV to watch. And then at 1 o'clock, you start programming till like 6 o'clock that night, which means you're in classes with your LCDC. Then you get like an hour free time, and then you do 2 more hours of your rah stuff, and then it's feet off the floor at 9:15, and then start all over again.
You could not. You had to stay on your feet for 16 hours basically.
If you had a job, and I was the unit tailor. So, we're like the laundry. So, we're always the first ones because of showers and all that stuff. So I had to, if I wanted to go eat breakfast, then I had to get up early. If I didn't want to eat breakfast, I could probably, sleep in till like, 4 o'clock, 4:10, and just get up and catch out at 4:30, 4:20, whenever our boss comes by and picks us up. But anyway.
Now, is it true that Texas, y'all don't have air conditioners in your prison? A lot of them don't.
I'll give you the history, and I'm a Texas criminal justice expert, because first time I went to prison, I had my mom buy me the book on Texas prisons, and I read it, and I read the entire history of where I was at, my circumstances I was in, and all the people that I was involved with, because I would say about a dozen people that are in that book in the appendix, I knew personally, and I'd already met the first time I went down there. When I first went to prison, they still had building tenders and turnkeys. Those are offender guards, basically. That means they have the key to the door. They run the cell blocks and dorms. The turnkeys, they run all the hallway crash gates. So if you got to go to commissary at the end of the hall and you live on A block at the other end of the hall, and there's 10 turnkeys that you got to go through to get there, and they all want a wham wham and a zuzu from the store for you to get back to your house, guess what you're doing? You're breaking them all off by the time you get back to the house. So yeah, that's a time that I was there. Now, the evolution of the Texas prison systems was 1845, when the U.S. gave its federal territorial prison over to the state of Texas. That's when the first court system got set up. That's when they got their first prison, Huntsville, the Walls, which is now the Huntsville unit. From then, they expanded into the 1880s and built a bunch of red brick prison buildings. And then into the 1930s, they had their second boom. You and I previously discussed this, but basically how Texas evolved their penal system was, it was back then called a state farm system, because what the state of Texas did is bought those plantations. They built a prison unit on it, rehabilitated it with former slaves, now called prisoners, and went right back to work. And it was just another self-sufficient.
Never missed the beat.
Right. In the 1960s, of course, we had to upgrade, and they upgraded the system. The units built in the 1930s were built with a duct system. The problem with those old red brick buildings is they're not insulated at all. They have antiquated window systems that all had to be removed and replaced. The ones built in the 60s, you could put what they call a swamp
cooler.
Yeah, swamp cooler on them. And then the ones built in the 80s, those are the newer units. There, you can drop a unit in somewhere in the system and tie it right in. So those could possibly be air conditioned. Most of those units are big units. Or in the 90s, and the 90s, that's when the United States military decommissioned a lot of military bases. Those were taken over by the state of Texas and turned into dormitory prison systems like Garza West down in Beeville. Most of these units I've been to, personally been housed on, or I was there for a transfer or whatever. That includes all of them back to the Walls, where they have these underground cells that are just teeny. I mean, they're tiny. They're 1,800 cells. That's why I tell everybody, I've been in every type of cell you can be in, from 1845 to 2014 or 2016 rather. And Jeffrey Epstein, it's almost impossible to hang yourself in a prison cell.
We're not even going to go there. We're not even going to go there.
Yeah,
it's just like the young black man that hung himself in Mississippi.
Oh yeah,
Black folks don't hang themselves. Yeah. And when you're worth billions of dollars,
the determination to hang yourself in a prison cell is
I don't care how insulted or embarrassed or ashamed I am about myself. I'm worth $1 billion. I just about believe I can make magic.
Right.
Because think about this. Look at all the things he did before that put him there. And the only reason why that happened was he poked some bear that had a little bit more money in him, or he poked in a situation where there was going to be a whole lot of people start going down, and he had to be that scapegoat. Right. Because we've seen the friends that he's got. We've seen the names that have showed up in that beautiful $50 million complex he has. That big, beautiful mansion he's got with the swimming pools, and that's where the freak shows were. We've seen who've been there. Princes and ex-presidents, and you know what I'm saying? So He was the fall guy for something, you know. And hey, people talk about open the books. Let's see the books. And I don't think the books are ever going to get open, to be totally honest.
Oh no, no.
So you know, so all of this. Where do you start? Where do you finish? You know, one of my mantras is dream, breathe, deliver. Everything you do, it starts with a dream. How long do we have to dream? You know, now we're starting to deliver, but we've been dreaming for 500 years. You know, when people say to me, it's so condescending to see this, to see these signs. Let's make America great again. Do you know the only time you know what they're trying to make America great back to? 1861 to 1865. You know what that was?
Civil War.
Civil War, slave days.
Mm-hmm.
Is what a lot of people's intentions of making America great again. Because has it been great for people with tans? Think about it. Has it really been great for people that look like me? And granted, some of us has fought like hell. You know, my mama told me I was the baby of 17 kids. I grew up. I was the baby boy, 12 sisters, man. I graduated high school. 17 kids. I'm the baby, 12 sisters. When it was time for me to come out, I just slid on out. Hey, what's going on here? I'm in the house. Hell, my mama was pregnant for 13 years, dog. That was a stairway to heaven. I was walking on out the door. I weighed like 13 pounds, man. Shit, she was ready to get rid of me, son. I'm telling you. I walked right on through the door. May the 22nd. Knock, knock. Turn the key. Step on out. I already had this little spud in my face. Telling you, man, I used to tell my mama, I remember being in the first, second grade, and somebody said, man, why do your grandmama bring you to school all the time? I was like, man, don't go there. That's my mama, man. I went home. I was like, Mama, you know what? I thought about something. You've been old ever since I known your ass. She was like 50 when she had me. You know what I'm saying? My mama would have been 100. Yeah, she would have been 100 this year. She was born in 1925.
Wow.
My oldest sister right now is 83. And my oldest sister should have been 86.
Wow, yeah. You're the baby, and you had.
I'm the baby, dog. I'm the only one that get to rock the boat in their 50s. I got 5 years of 50s being by myself at a certain age. Wow. It was 30. It was 40. Now it's 50. I'm finna jump back over next year, so I'll be with them for a couple of years, and then they'll leave me 70, and I'll still be 60. But I tell everybody all the time, I tell all my sisters and brothers, it was 17. Now we're down to 10. I mean 7. And if any one of y'all are looking, because I sent this link out to them to look, I will see you. I will say bye to you, because that's the chronological order. You're not going to say bye to me. I tell them that all the time. I'm supposed to go to 16 funerals, and then I'm supposed to call it a wrap, and I'm supposed to be by myself. I want it to stay like that. I do. I love my sisters, but see you later, baby.
So all 17, that just sounds so insane. All of y'all came from North Carolina and then dispersed across the country.
Everybody,
some state.
The Air Force and colleges took them, you know. And a lot of my older siblings, which you figure my sister was born in 1943.
Wow.
You know, a lot of them, back in the older days, people didn't want to be in the South because they felt like you could get an equal shot going to New York or Chicago, and you would be, you know, a nanny or a housekeeper or something, you know. So I have heard a lot of shit, is what I'm saying. I'm the only Black person that listens to rap, rock, gospel, country, and soul. Because every one of my sisters and brothers, they listen to one of those musics, And instead of me listening to one, I listened to all of them. You know, I could be listening to Metallica and somebody be like, "Homeboy, have you looked in the mirror lately?" "Yeah, man, I have." You know what I'm saying? So,
we live the best life, our age group.
Hey, man.
I'm 63.
Okay.
So you remember when, you had to wait on the phone?
Oh, no. When you wanted to take a personal call, what'd you do? You dragged that long ass cord and went to the bathroom and shut the door. Hey, I gotta take a private call. I gotta take this private call. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. And then somebody on the phone. Hang up the phone, man. I can hear you breathing.
I heard you pick it up.
Oh my God, this is crazy because we can relate. You remember?
Oh yeah. You remember when you could just walk out your door, walk down a main street, pick up bottles, go to the store, deposit them, go buy you a soda water and a candy
nickel bottle.
Still have money in your pocket.
A nickel a bottle, my brother. Let me tell you something. We used to have this old store. God bless you, Slim Singleton. He was a cool old white dude, man. And we used to go take the bottles to the store, and we might have sold him some of his own bottles. Yeah. And
you didn't want to take those green 7-Up quart bottles because
RC Cola, man. RC Cola. Oh my God, man. Oh, you're bringing back the times, man. You're bringing back those times. And a moon pie and a Pepsi was a dime when we were babies. Remember the gas embargo of 76 when they thought everybody was going to run out of gas and people were lined up and gas went from 15 cents to 35.
And that was just like,
oh my God.
People were
freaking. My God. Yep, 1976. Who was the most famous person of 1976?
I would say still Nixon.
No, Billy Carter.
Billy.
Yeah, Billy. Shit, Billy come out with the beer and everything, man. Remember that? Red, white, and blue. Drink Billy beer.
Yeah. Was that because Carter came in at 76?
76, 77. He made it
77 but he came out with all the beer and everything?
Yeah, all the Billy beer. He was a celebrity, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So, man, this is crazy. Oh, remember when, like, I've got a couple old classic cars now, and my babies, I have a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old. This is funny. Get in the car. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Be respectful, fella. Be respectful. I canceled that prescription to them little bitty blue vitamins. That's all I need to say about that, okay?
No Selwyn.
Hey, man. But, I remember my baby got in my car. I got this Wildcat, 66 Wildcat, and I get in the car. And he's like 9.
56 Wildcat?
66 Wildcat.
Oh, I see. Okay. Wrong.
And he gets in the car. And he's like, "Daddy, turn the air conditioner on." I'm like, "Look right there. If you roll that window will turn inside." Woo! Woo! And he looked at me like I was crazy as hell. And he's like, "Where's the heater at?" I'm like, "If you pull that cord right there."
Well, you remember back when it was just like a pool knob. You pulled this little knob, and now it's hot.
That's what I got. And you turn the air, it'd be 135 degrees, and you turn that window out and the angle on it.
A little vent window.
That's cool air. That's the AC. And he'd look at me like, "Damn, something wrong with you, right?" Yeah. This is how we live. And let me ask you a question, Floyd.
Uh-huh.
How many mass shootings did we hear of when we were kids? I'm looking at the camera on this one. How many mass shootings did we hear when we were kids?
Let's put it this way. Every time I went to a junior and senior high school combo. So I went there for 6 years, and my dad taught there the whole time I was there. And every time I saw a 12 gauge, 30-30, 30-06.
If you got $1 for it, how much money would you have?
All in the gun racks and the pickup trucks.
Woo!
On campus.
On campus. Where we could go and smoke a cigarette in the parking lot.
Through football practice after school, till somebody locked the gates up. If they locked the gates up, zero.
Yep. We could go smoke a cigarette, smoke a cigarette at the truck with the guns hanging out the back and us showing them out in the middle of the parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah,
Think
if you're
about it.
out there going, hey, look what my dad got me
Hey,
for
look what my dad
Christmas,
gave
you
me.
know,
Look what
when
I
he
got
got
for
back
Christmas.
from school in January.
Yep, you know,
What?
and
Nobody gonna say a word.
teachers, nobody. The teacher, I mean, let me say that. Damn, I wish I had a gun that nice. You know, think about that, man. Think about what happened to make that change.
I don't know, but you know, during high
I do.
school, you know, we did have guns like that, and literally, I swear to God, one of us would go, "Hey, let's go get a deer," and we would literally find somebody that had a gun, get their gun, get in a car or whatever, and we drive to Tomball, which is about 10-ish miles from where I'm at right now, and we see a deer on the side of the road. Boom! Throw it in the trunk, bring it back to Houston, dress it out, and go to town. And we literally did that during high school. I mean, you know, I'm not saying it was legal. I told y'all I was a crazy idiot.
Dog, squirrels, rabbits, you name it. We had it was just something. I would be afraid to literally walk in the woods right now. And I don't know, we got 10, 12, 1,200 acres. I would be afraid to walk in the woods. I would be, because that respect factor that we used to have, because I'm going to tell you something.
It's gone.
There was a dude that looked like you, and he was called your dad. He didn't have to have all these long ass conversations with you. If you knew you had to feed the cows or slop the pigs or sweep the floor, when you came home, it was done, because you know there were consequences and repercussions.
Serious.
Simple. Now, if they get in trouble, you send them to the bedroom where the PlayStation is, the Game Boy, the computer, and that phone that we used to have on a string, you know, that we used to have to go run and hide behind the corner of the building and be going, hey, baby. You know, modern conveniences, subliminal messaging. I love a good beat in a song. Hey, you come from Houston, man. You got what's your name? Jay Prince and the Ghetto Boys and Mike Jones and all them boys up there. I've actually met a lot of them. You know, George hung around with the Ghetto Boys. You know,
Okay.
and I love it.
Well, he hung out in the Nickel, right?
Yeah. If you listen to all that music back in the 70s, the Ghetto Boys, my mind is playing tricks on me. I make big money. I drive big cars. Everybody know me. I'm a movie star. Late at night when something ain't right, I feel I'm being tailed by the same sucker's headlight. Where was I shot the gat at the hole, I got the bee, and all this other stuff. That's what I hate about our messaging that our kids are receiving.
Well, they're being programmed to do that. That's
everything is shoot, murder, kill.
Yeah.
All the games. You gotta kill something.
It's to fill up the prison.
Yeah. That's the subliminal message. Yep. So, you know, it's like, wow. How can we do this? Parenting is at an all-time low. Lord have mercy. Remember back in our day where you had grandmama that was 65, then you had mama that was 40, then you had the daughter that was 22, 23 with a 6-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, with a 3 or 4-year-old kid. Now, that 60-year-old grandmama gone. Because grandmama 36, the daughter is 25 with a damn 9-year-old kid.
Right.
So that whole part is missing now. You know, so, you know, man, these battles that we have, we've been battling the same battles for all these years, my brother. The only difference is that they come in different shapes, forms, and sizes. You know, then you have people that are targeting our youth, and whether it's drug dealers, whether it's racist, whether it's a cult, the easiest way to make a difference and a change in this world is to target who? The young folks. Yep. Just like racism was taught as a baby on up, if you target young kids that have not been programmed yet, that don't really have an impression upon anything, and you give them, if you plant that seed, it'll grow in their mind. I think about that. All these young kids today, they drive alike. They like the same little rat cars. You know, they dress alike. They like the same little music. They listen to the same. They play the same games. So they're all are identified with the same situation. And when people spew certain things to them, it starts to sound good in their ears. Then everybody begin to believe that bullshit. And most of the things that we hear are literally designed to affect somebody that will never have anything to do with you, that will never have any bearing on your life, but they will benefit from it. And I just don't understand how people can benefit from the destruction of races, of people, of minds, especially the young minds. You know, so we talk about domestic violence. Dog, do you realize that people that are in first responders, police, firemen, any form of armed services, sergeants, lieutenants, do you know the cases of domestic violence that are in those genres? It's hellacious. There's so many women.
Abnormality. Yeah, absolutely.
Because of high stress. It is high stress job and who you take it out on. And there's so many women. I've got a young lady she's got 300 women around the world that she's talked to. And they're all Navy connected. And it's like, wow. And then I'm doing some work with the Veterans Administration. And the young ladies that are on my veterans group, they tell me, Uncle Selwyn, it's hell. It's hell as a woman in the armed services. If you don't want to do this, or you don't want to shake your ass, if you don't want to give somebody, a little happy feeling, your ass don't get promoted. And then they'll force you for early retirement, so you'll get 20% of your pension, or 20% of your or being whatever you call it. And that's how they do. And that's terrible.
It's actually one of my former guests is Lieutenant Colonel Sandy Miarecki, and she was the 4th ever female test pilot.
Oh, oh,
yeah, she's a badass.
Yeah, no shit. You want to see her in the dark.
Yeah, she had beauty and brains, and I guarantee you, boy, that was a tough road for her to hoe. So, she's one of the forerunners for, all the women in the military, as you described. I'm sure they would know who she was. If you want to bring them on to tell their story.
Oh, I'll be glad to, man. I'll be glad to. We're going to stay in contact now for sure.
Absolutely. 100. Sure. Yeah.
I would love for you to, I'd love to introduce you to my board.
Okay.
Because a lot of the things that you do, we do. And, it's always good to have the same birds of a feather flock together. Eagles don't hang around with crows or pigeons because they shit on everything.
Right.
And if you've been in this game long enough, you know that there's so many people that talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. A lot of people say what they're going to do, but unless it affects them, they don't.
Right.
Yeah. And it's simple. And let me tell you, this has affected me so bad that me and this young man from LA got together and we created an app called Myth. And pretty much what it is, it's a prevention app because it is very hard for anybody that has a tan that are light brown or dark brown that gets missing to get that acknowledgement from the Amber Alert. Well, on my app, we have a panic button. So if you are any kind of distress, mentally, physically, you push that panic button and it'll alert your emergency contacts. It has lifetime GPS,
wow,
visual and audio, so I can see you, I can hear you, and I can come right to you. We have a range finder on it. So if people are within that range that you set out, it'll be a different chirp. They can come to your assistance. How many lives would I have saved this year? How many missing people, sex traffic, domestic violence? How many of those would have been saved by Uncle Selwyn's app? But give me a month and we're coming out, man, because everybody else talks. Nobody has a product. Nobody has a product. Well, guess what? I got a product that is going to create a community-based oriented change. It's going to be able to tell where little Johnny is. If wife is riding down the road and somebody's road rage, and when she's in a chaotic situation, you push the panic button. I can see, I can hear, and I can come right to you. Now, that young man that was in South Carolina that texts his mom and says, help, and his cousins killed him, Giovanni. It's been like 2 months ago. He would have been living. Think about that. He would have been living. And a lot of these people that have been missing in the last month, that you just don't vanish. You just don't vanish. If you'd have had my app, you could push the panic button and we would have been able to track you down. So, man, I'm blessed. I'm totally enthusiastic about me having this opportunity to help save people's lives and to make a difference in this world, man, because every day, my brother, I wake up and I thank the stars in the heaven above, because guess what I got to do this morning that somebody else didn't get a chance to do?
Wake up.
Wake up, my brother. So every day I wake up, pessimist, optimist. Pessimist saying, man, I woke up. When I wake up, hell yeah, I woke up. I can eat me some catfish. I can drink me a Pepsi. Shit. I'm in South Dakota. I can be cold, and that's a good day.
So let me ask you this. What's the name of your app?
Huh?
Do you have a name for this app?
Myth.
M-Y-T-H?
M-Y-T-H, my brother.
Okay.
Let me give you a little taste.
All right.
There you go, right there.
There you go. It went off there. The logo did.
There you go, right there. That's how it's created. You push that panic button right here. Watch this crazy, right? I'm in panic. Right there. Somebody's looking at me right now. Somebody's listening to me. Hey, man, I'm just showing my man the way that. Wow. Somebody on the other side is listening and hearing me. Hey, wave at him. Hey, I'm doing an interview.
Yeah, we're doing an interview. This is all a demonstration.
Oh, my God, I got 2 people that witnessed. Now they'll text me. They'll text me back. But, yeah, man, this is like.
Wow, what a brilliant idea.
Look at that, my brother. Emergency contacts. Review, police review.
That's brilliant.
Yep. So this right here, my brother, is going to. You see how the people that witnessed me come up and shit?
That should be like mandatory for everybody owner under 18. For
Mom and daddy pay the cell phone bill, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Now let's say that. Now these are all the emergency contacts right here. Hold on a second. Bam. Let's see here. Let's see who this person is. That's where that person is.
Okay. Wow.
I can go right to him. My navigation will take me right to him, man. And that is my way. That's one of my ways of participating and making this a better world, man.
Could somebody use that in a nefarious manner?
Yeah. No, not really. The only way they could use it in a nefarious manner is if it's to your emergency contacts, because only your emergency contacts are the ones that you contact. Okay. Now, let's say that you set your rangefinder.
Right.
Oh, your rangefinder is right here. See the little yellow line right here?
Yep.
That's my rangefinder right there.
Okay.
I got it down to 5 miles.
Okay.
Now, your emergency contacts will obviously hear a different tone. And if anybody is in the same, within that 5 miles, they will get a different tone. So it's optional if they would want to come and assist you. So, anything has chaos, but we try to make it as safe as we can, because there's a bunch of creeps in this world, I'm also collaborating with the safety soldiers. You know, they profile little weirdos on the phone, and weirdos think they're talking to 13, 10, 9, 12, 14-year-old kids, and they catch pedophiles. You know, we get them off
Safety
the street.
soldiers.
Yep,
I've never heard of them. Do they
safety.
have a
Yep.
website or anything
Yep.
that you want to promote to them?
Yep. Hold on.
I'm down for all that. You know,
Man, that's what we do, my brother.
Listen, consenting adults, whatever they want to do behind closed doors to each other, man, knock yourselves out.
Safety soldiers.
Okay, they're over on Facebook.
Yep, that's what we do, man. That's what we do. So I'm just trying to create something that's going to change the world and to make the biggest impact I can. Because think about this, my brother. We have more yesterdays than we do tomorrows. And trust me, you done told me your story. I don't have to get mine. I played football for a living. So, you know, my yesterdays was hell. Right. I acted like a fool 3 or 4 times over. And I'm not trying to make brownie points now for nobody. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be the biggest impact I can on people's lives in a positive way. Because, man, you know, think about this. Think about if we had the mindset that we had now, we had 20 years ago. We wouldn't be sitting here talking. We wouldn't be sitting here talking. So with time comes wisdom. With time comes change. And, you know, without hope, there's no change. Without change, there's no hope. And I've got a lot of hope that we can create a better place for people to be able to navigate as equals. That's hard. That's probably going to be a hard battle. But you know what, man? You never finish if you don't start.
Well, you know, I don't think you're going to be able to save everybody, but you're going to get a good, nice core group of, you know, highly intelligent individuals.
That's all I want because I'm tired of them crazy asses, man. Oh my God. Oh my God, man. I'm tired of the crazy ones. I'm tired of people that says me. My brother, do you know how many people have taken advantage of who and what I am because of my heart? I've got a book that I spent X amount of dollars on, and I haven't seen those people. And they owe me X amount of dollars. I've got people that have written books that my name is in, that I'm one of the lead characters. And I don't even care about compensation. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But I know one thing. Get me one time, that'd be on you. There will not be no second times anymore. You know, and you know this, man. And this thing that we're doing, your circle has to be so few. Because you can never stop a user until you stop him. Because they'll never say, no, I don't want to stop. It's just like you will never stop a police officer that is a ticking time bomb until when? Until that time bomb explodes. And how we have to prevent some of these guys. If you get charged with any kind of aggressive situation with anybody, your ass should be fired. Your ass should not go past go. You should not be able to go to the next county and get a job.
Yeah.
Because you know how many times that happened? Grayson went to 6 different police precincts, and he got TDUIs, but yet, you know what he's famous for?
No.
Killing Sonia Massey, shooting her in the face 2 times with a .40 caliber. That's what he's famous for. Derek Chauvin, he had 18 write-ups in 10 years. You know what he's famous for, right?
Yep. The Minneapolis.
Yep. Those dudes down in Memphis. Oh my God, let me see. They just got out of jail. Think about it. And they beat this young man to death in front of the world and everybody. And because of that system that we were talking about. So,
well, the other gentleman that you mentioned in Arkansas, correct? That was 90 shot 90 something times.
yeah, no, that was in Chicago.
Was that Chicago?
Dexter Reed Jr. He got shot 96 times in 41 seconds.
96 times in 41 seconds, folks.
Think about that.
And what didn't one or two officers like reload? They reloaded.
Yep, 17 round clips. 16 in the clip, one in the gun. They unloaded on this car. It was probably 8-10 feet from it.
Right, like Bonnie and Clyde.
Yep, just like Bonnie and Clyde. Then you've got Reginald Clay Jr. that was literally giving up, putting his gun on a deck, and they were lighting him up. He never did this. He was putting the gun on the deck, and they decided that they would punch that ticket. Hey, I just got Bryant. In Wisconsin. This has been not even a month ago.
And by all means, we are not painting the entire law enforcement.
No. There's great police officers. There's great police officers, but the ones we're talking about are devils, are absolute devils, and they are taking the power that was given to them, that oath, and they're taking it too far. Okay, let's argue for a second. Okay, Derek Chauvin was taught how to use that choke maneuver on my nephew. He was taught that when he was trained back 30 years ago. Okay, let's back up. I can teach you how to drive a car. I can't control if you drive it off the cliff.
Right.
See the point I'm trying to make?
Absolutely.
That move was taught to subdue people, and once the handcuffs got on them, guess what? You know this. You can't run with your hands behind your back. You can't even get off the ground.
If you can, you're not going far.
Yeah, that move was not taught to be put on somebody's neck for 9.5 minutes.
Right.
So, it's called abuse of privilege. And I know, and I have this crazy conversation all the time. They want to go home. They want to go see their babies. Everybody wants to go see their babies. But you know what? You make that choice on somebody else's life. Literally. Think about how many of these calls and how many of this police brutality is with mental health people, with people who are in mental health crisis. If you're high and you are locked yourself in a bathroom, the only damn thing you're trying to do is get away from everything. Right. You're not trying to rob nothing. You just want to get away. And there was a young man in Detroit. Well, there was one in Detroit and Wisconsin. And they drug him out of the bathroom. And they literally beat him right in front of the motel. The motel employees did this because he was high. Then there was a young man in Columbus, Ohio? No, Cleveland. Frank Tyson, that just got out of jail, was wrongfully convicted for 25 years. Gets out, he's out for 2 weeks. Goes on a bar, and the video was distorted when we got it, but we know. You see the police come to the door, and the first thing the lady says was, "Get that in out of here." They walk in the door, and they never asked what was wrong, what was going on, and they started the business. It skips from 8 to 15 minutes. Well, he had a closed casket because they beat the hell out of him. Wow. Then they cut the camera back on. Now, hold on for a second. The guy that committed this beating, he got fired from Target for stealing. Don't you lock up people that steal shit? How can you be a police officer and you got stealing on your record? So these things are the things that bother me. And think about this. If you work anywhere, you know the person that's good or bad. You know whoever is going to have that person to have that short string, or that person that you know that could potentially be hazard. Well, all of these people that I'm telling you about that have murdered people all had horrific uh, uh, resumes when it comes down to police brutality. So we have to get better hiring practices. And like I said, don't let your own police force investigate you. Get an independent group to to investigate you, because I'll tell you this, Floyd. If I'm investigating you, guess what I'm telling them? Hey, my man's solid. He wouldn't hurt a fly. And all of these people put people in bad situations. And granted, gun violence in a whole is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious, man. You know, gun violence. So we can talk about all these crazy things. And these are all the things that me and you are trying to make better in this world. And we're sitting here with a smile on our face because, you know, we're chopping it up. But deep down inside, I'm frowning because I got a 9-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 38-year-old. And I don't want them to go through any of the scrap that I've had to go. You know, I wish we could go back to having the damn cordless, the cord. That's a cordless phone. Remember them cordless ones, the one with the damn antenna like that long?
Uh-huh.
I wish we could go back to that because they
break off and it wouldn't work anymore.
Yeah. You had damn television. I know you've never heard about this. A television, you had pliers. Somebody said, what the hell you do with the pliers? You turned the channel. You only had 3 channels, NB, AB, and CBS. The only thing that come on at noon was Young and the Restless, The Guiding Light, As the World Turns, you know.
General Hospital.
Yeah, General. So there you go. You know the deal, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and it was simple. It was simple. I remember when cable come in, man. Remember that? 81, 82?
Oh,
come on. We thought.
You remember, this is gonna really mess you up. Channel Z. You remember Channel Z? Channel Z is when they came out with the cable boxes, and you could turn it all the way over to this channel where
the big brown ones.
Soft, soft porn and just all this
stuff.
Hey
man, why you gonna mention that? You know what you were doing? Oh man, you remember we used to have drive-in theaters when we were young.
Yeah, absolutely.
$6 carload, man. I used to take about 30 people there.
Yeah.
This is how wild this is. Do you remember when David Lee Roth left Van Halen?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You were 19 years old.
No, I was older than that.
Because I saw him in 1983. I was 17.
Oh, okay. I was 22, 21, 20, 22.
Think about that.
23. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Where in the hell is that time gone?
Oh, I saw them in 1979 in the Cotton Bowl. They were the headliner.
Oh, I've seen them. Oh my God, one of my favorite groups of all time was Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, okay.
Oh God, I love Scott Weiland, man. Met him several times. Rick James.
Oh, really?
That was my man.
Rick James. Yeah. That's an undersung.
Woo-wee. Rick James.
He was a bad boy.
He was a bad boy. He was that super freak, son. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
You know, one of my good friends now is Verdell White.
Who?
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Verdell White, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
His wife, Kelly Clark's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
You know, so I remember those good old days where you got the old 22 rifle and you went walking through the woods and you shot a squirrel or a rabbit and you brought it home. You know what I'm saying? So
the house I live in right now, where I'm sitting, I used to hunt here as a child. There's a bayou. Yeah, there's a bayou like 50 feet. And we used to walk down this bayou with our 22s, 410s. The further out you would go, there was nothing out there. And it was pheasant.
Y'all got any hogs out there?
Pardon?
Y'all got any hogs?
Not here. Not so much here. I'm like I'm well within the Houston city limits now.
Okay.
Used to, this was the outskirts of Houston. There was nothing here except Jersey Village, Cy-Fair, and then Prairie View, Hempstead. And that was it. And we didn't have a freeway. 290 stopped up here. So you could
y'all are pretty innovative now, though, buddy. Y'all are pretty innovative now. I love Missouri City.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. I like going through the hood. I like going through Fifth Ward as long as it ain't night.
It's changing.
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
They're building all these little 3 and 4 story sandwich sardine cheap ass buildings side by side. Where back in Fifth Ward in Acres Homes, you know how they have the big lots with the little shotgun shacks up on the cinder blocks. Well, they're mowing those and they're building 8 residences on that property.
They call it regentrification.
Oh, absolutely.
They're taking the land that they didn't really care about who lived there, and now it's important to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's important.
Very valuable. It's
important to move forward to change the social economic people that live in that neighborhood. And that's crazy.
It's insane. I was born and raised in Houston, and I'm just offended. I think it's horrible what they're doing to this city. There's pockets of it that are just gorgeous, and they're even making them better. Like when you come to Memorial Park is nothing like it was when I was in high school. We used to go there and run through all the ravines and bayous and, for cross country. That's how, up and down. And it was always a new adventure because you didn't run the same old path over and over and over. Now it's all developed. Now they got a roadway that goes over Memorial Drive. So you can go to both sides now. You can walk, bike, whatever. They've redone the golf course. They're redoing Herman Park. They're expanding the Med Center. The next 20 years, they're redoing the highway infrastructure. So you may remember all the freeways that crisscross through downtown. Those are all going to the east side in this big, wide super highway. And all the interchanges will be over on the east side of Houston. There will be no more freeways through downtown Houston.
Wow.
Yeah, they're turning it into a 15-minute city for sure.
Chaos.
No,
chaos. We've been dealing in chaos our whole lives, my brother. You know what I'm saying? It's just how we navigate through it now.
Yeah.
That's all it is, my brother. I got to have you on my podcast because I do have a podcast called Setting It Straight with Selwyn. Okay. And we have a lot of impacted family members, mothers, because, unfortunately, mothers are the ones that fight most of the time, and that's sad. That is sad. Men can't get in contact with their emotions enough to do that and handle this battle. So, but yeah, man, my ears are always open for good people doing good things and wanting to help me to create and do good things, man. So, I'm here, man.
I hooked you up with Jessica and Tanawa. Have you reached out to them yet?
No, I haven't. Now, how'd you hook me up like that? Okay. Just hook me up. You got my number. Okay. Call, man. And hey, let's make it happen, man. I don't mind coming to Houston,
They travel all over the country. Well, Jessica's in maybe still in Florida. I don't know where Tanawa is. He was headed to, I forget where. Somewhere on the East Coast. Okay. So they're doubling up. They're training people as they go. when they get back into your area, I have no idea. I don't know what their plans are.
That's cool.
But they have a whole network of people.
Let them let's get contact, and I don't mind going. I don't mind, having a meeting and bringing my president with me. We can sit down and chop it up, man. Because this is all about collaboration. And
Right.
I've created a QR code for people like yourself and other people that want to share my app.
Okay.
It can benefit you, too. So
we'll definitely have you back on, and we'll address all that with the app.
Yep.
Definitely, yeah, I'd be honored.
As soon as it comes out,
come debut it. Yeah.
As soon as it comes out, I'd love to have the opportunity. The Apple version is obviously done. That's what I showed you earlier. But we're having some problems with Android, and there's more people that use Android than iPhone. So
right.
So yeah, man. But yeah, my brothers. Where else do we need to go, or have we gone, or where you want to go?
Let's. We've been on for an hour and a half. I want to have you back on, and I'd like to have more of a specified topic that we can address. If you want to talk about the event in Minneapolis, we can do that. If you'd like to talk about the familial circumstances, ramifications from that event, how it's affected your family, now that we know you have such a large family that, it didn't just affect one group here and, what we would assume would be Houston, because that's where we were told he was from.
I'll tell you this much. It affected the whole lineage, but who did it really affect? I'll say that much. Uncle Selwyn has been doing this 24/7, 365 since May the 27th. It's some people are like a solar eclipse. You rarely see them, but when you see them, maybe it's a good thing, because different things mean different things to others. You know what I'm saying? And you can't trade anything for me for the love that I have for somebody. And that's the reason why you see me pounding. You see me doing what I do. Because other things weren't that important to me. So, pennies mean nothing to me. Pennies mean absolutely nothing to me. And I am taking the loss of my nephew very serious. I'm taking the dysfunctional system that we've lived in as human beings very seriously. So I was given something I didn't want it. So guess what? I'm going to do this like I did everything that I had to work for. Don't stop, won't stop. Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say about that.
Absolutely. Very admirable.
Hey, what else can I do, man? I don't want my mama to appear in my dreams and ask me what the hell am I doing? Right. Why aren't you fighting? Why aren't you taking this opportunity to fight for people, to fight for yours, to fight for all people? Because I know that, I guarantee you she'd be looking at me thinking, boy, you still can talk your ass off. I love it. I love it. Don't you stop. Don't stop talking. Don't stop fighting. Don't talk about it. Be about it. And just remember, man, dream, breathe, and deliver. A dream is a gift you reward yourself with. And I've been dreaming my whole life for freedom. I've been dreaming my whole life for equality. A dream is a gift you reward yourself with. Think about that.
Wow, how well said. Selwyn Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir. We'll definitely have you back on. Would you like to come back on next Sunday? And we do it a little bit earlier. How about 7 o'clock instead of 8?
Okay.
Is that better?
Let's do 7. Let's do 7. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Sunshine, somewhere over the rainbow. Uncle Selwyn's gotta go. I'll see you next Sunday here on Fearless Floyd Show. Holla.
There you go. Thanks,
Later,
sir.
baby.
Have
Bye-bye.
a good night. God bless you. I told you I had no idea where the conversation was going, but definitely kindred spirit. And, I knew that as soon as I talked to him on the phone and we had that conversation. And then obviously you saw it develop even more. We will be back next Sunday, 7 p.m. Central with Selwyn Jones, as well as Juan C. Vasquez, my buddy, my homie, local filmmaker. He wanted to, do a deeper dive. I think he wants some perspective. I don't know. You never know with Juan. You never know what's going on in his mind, whether he's, put together another film, a docu series. His mind's always active. He's always moving. So I look forward to having them both on and pretty much just sitting back and listening to the conversation, being a fly on the wall. I think that would be quite a change for me. So I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you like the guest. If you have any topics or suggestions for guests, bring them on the show. Hit me up, fiercefloydshow@yahoo.com. If you're reaching out to me for trusts or bonds or anything else like that, my phone works 9 to 9. Please call me. If you want to email me, it's just going to be a little slower response time. Guys, I'm going to do that. It's going to be kind of boring. You may or may not want to do it. I don't expect a whole bunch of viewers while I do that, but I'm not going to present something to you that's sloppy, that I'm just like tediously putting it together. It'll already be together. I'm just going to do a run through, do final checks, things like that, make sure all the exhibit numbers are correct and match up with the appendix of exhibits, typos, and all that good stuff. So if you want to hang around for that, you can. I am not scheduled for another show this week. I may do a show with Wesley. I'm looking at my calendar. And I will be back on the 29th. Scheduled show Wednesday at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. So I'll probably come on at high noon like I do. But I'll have Daryl D. James. He's a super soldier. We're going to have an interesting conversation. I've never interviewed a super soldier. I've had James Rink on my show before, but never a super soldier. So new territory. Get your comments and questions ready. That's on the 29th, and it'll be a high noon show. I'll crank it up at noon. The guest will come on at 1. So you're going to have to listen to my dumbass for an hour. Is what it is, folks. Somebody got to run the show, and it obviously is me. I think I covered everything that I'm going to cover. If you're in Houston and you don't have anything to do for Halloween and you would like to go to a masquerade costume party at my buddy's McMansion, hit me up if you're in Houston. I'll give you the address. There will be at least two live bands, rhythm and blues, open bar, catered, other snacks and treats. I don't know. He'll probably do a contest or two because I know he was giving stuff away for his last party favors. pool table. He has a jacuzzi in the backyard. He didn't have it cranked up or patio furniture last time, so I need to give him a call and make sure he has patio furniture this party. So it's not so cramped inside and people, because you can see inside from the patio. So, really cool place. I did a video on it, Rockstar's house. So if y'all can go check that out, because he lives like a rock star. There'll be autographed memorabilia, wall to wall, floor to ceiling, every room, every hallway. Quite interesting just to walk through the entire house, looking at all the memorabilia and paraphernalia. So, like I said, if you're in Houston, I got a Halloween party for you. If not, that's fine. Be safe, be happy. If I don't see you before Halloween, I'll be back. I don't know when to do a show. You never know. I did one earlier right before this show on a Venezuelan Bolivar update. So if you're not familiar with foreign currency investment, you might want to watch that video. If you are and you don't have any Bolivar, you might want to watch that video. If you're thinking about investing in Bolivar and don't really know if you should or why, you might want to watch that video. I don't give any type of medical, financial, legal, or friendly advice. I'm just a moron talking to my laptop. Do your own research, please. Thank you, everybody, for watching. The outro's coming up. Good night. God bless you.
I come through with the style that's always never been from the block like the TikTok don't stop. I was that shorty, you know she was non-stop. I had the hot clot, chilling like a real god. Everybody know Big Juan was a show shot. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. It goes on and on, ain't no fucking questions why. The gangster of love, get the real fucking supply. What? She came through, giving me more than I can tell you. Everybody knows the next level, I'm so clever. Take the day off. Take the day off. Yeah. Get high on your own supply. Feel like a dime when you do or die. Just get high on my own supply. Do or die when I'm feeling like why. Choose a dime piece. Yes, one of a kind. Holler at me, I was one of a kind. We had a bill, throw the shoes to the side. Come on, throw them shoes to the side. Take the day off with me. Come and take it off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day off. Get on trap me. Trap the room, I'm saying right here. That's what I say. The best St. Jacks, they ain't up to nothing. Everybody loves it with me. Okay, yeah, when mom cut off your welfare, I was there. Holding you down, mama, holding you down. When it left you alone, I was there. Everybody knows I was there. You wanna call me out now? Still loving you like I'm loving the sound. Yes, I'll still be there. Them found ass niggas ain't here right now. Who loves you now? And who loves you now? And who loves you now? Take the day off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day